Welcome to Project 90X, the show where I watch and review random anime series from the 1990s. This is a well thought out program and totally not just an excuse for me to watch anime between my other projects. I decided to start off with a show not insanely popular, but one I've meant to check out for quite a while, Princess 9. I'm not one for meandering pre-game chatter, unless I really have something I want to say. I'm more fond of the get in the car and I'll explain on the way format, so read the title card, or don't, and off we go. We open on a local minor league baseball game where the home team pitcher is getting lit up with a late game rally that looks to end badly.
I'm throwing everything I can think of at them, Shige, but my arm is almost gone.
Is the secret weapon here yet?
Tatsu just went to get her, Captain!
Yo, she better come soon.
The she they're talking about is our main character, 15-year-old Yo Hayakawa. She arrives right at the bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, one-run deficit to step in and close the game. Can she do that? Is she even on the roster?
Ball two!
She's pitching crazy.
Oh my god, what are you doing? Channeling the obnoxious powers of Brian Wilson, she begins her performance by pitching 3 consecutive balls because the drama isn't ramped up enough yet. But of course she gets the out and they all celebrate. But who is this mysterious watcher on the road? After the game, we get to meet childhood friend and love interest Seishiro as he and Yo discuss post-middle school plans. He's going to a prestigious high school, she's getting a McJob. Well, she's planning on waitressing at her mom's restaurant. Whatever. We get introduced to 2 critical characters in the show, Hiroki and Izumi, who are both freshman sports prodigies.
The two of you grew up together, right? Some people say that you're boyfriend and girlfriend. Is it true?
Well, since both Izumi and I have a lot of young fans, I think we'd rather not comment on that right now. Right, Izumi?
Yes. I have no comment on that either.
So that's a yes? Oh yeah, we get these cute little chibi bumpers with character info. Good idea since we're working with such a large cast and it's nice to have something that tells you the baseball positions and batting order if you're into that. Also, I'm terrible with names. Later at Mom's said restaurant, we're treated to a flashback of how Yo and the baseball team crossed paths.
Ball back down the hill!
Okay.
What the crap? What kind of voodoo magic is this? Is there a Yakuza baseball team in town? Because if there is, these guys are on it. They come in looking for the fabled ace pitcher, but start laughing and trash-talking when they see it's just a young girl. Story character Incognito suggests they settle their differences outside. With baseball. She's a lot more loose this time and hands the first guy a 3-pitch strikeout. The second guy at least makes contact with a foul ball, and then suddenly Hiroki comes out of nowhere and hits the ball back to Yo. Can't you just throw it back like a normal person? Show off. Okay, what is with all the baseball espionage swarming around Yo? Not counting the 2 thugs, she has at least 3 people tailing her at this singular moment. I half expect the catcher to be a disguised Inspector Zenigata. So Hiroki comes in and asserts himself into the batter's box as a pinch hitter. What is the point of this? The tiff was between them and her. Your batting ability is irrelevant here. Hiroki makes good contact with 2 fouls, and then on the 3rd pitch does this.
Come to Papa!
He hit it!
No one has ever said he hit it before the ball even left the bat. This is just anime's weird brand of bullet time where action slows down while people somehow talk at normal speed over it. The ball goes straight back to Yo and she hangs on for the out. She's kind of beat up, I guess, so Hiroki carries her home. Lame.
Why do you have to carry me, period?
It's a debt of honor. I swore I'd carry you back to your house if you were able to strike me out.
And when did you make that dumb oath?
What happened to you?
I'm afraid I did. I'm Hiroki, your daughter's new boyfriend.
Boyfriend?
What? Is there anything he won't just immediately insinuate himself into?
What is this?
A washcloud. There's a cute little smudge right here.
I don't believe this.
Good night, my princess.
Barf. Oh my god, it's a completely generic handkerchief. How intriguing. Cut away to a boardroom meeting. Little Miss Roadway Spy is actually Keiko, a chairperson at the prestigious Kisaragi Girls' School, and she's looking to assemble an all-girls baseball team. Oh look, a room full of old men is charged with deciding how females are to conduct themselves. Needless to say, they're not on board with the idea of having a girl baseball team.
That's Koshien Stadium!
Koshien Stadium!
That's where the National High School Championships are held.
That's right. And our goal is to get there. Koshien! Japan is changing, and we will lead that change. Our girls will lead it as equals. They will play against the boys' teams on equal footing, and within 3 years they will win the championship. That, gentlemen, is our new project.
Wow. I'm going to file that one under delusions of grandeur.
If it was going to be easy, I wouldn't be interested.
Huh?
I made my decision when she beat the top male player in Japan. It was almost as if her father had been reborn on the mound. I want to see Hidehiko Hayakawa's daughter pitching from the mound of Koshien Stadium.
Okay, I'm intrigued, and would like to know more about your personal vested interest, if only because it sounds like it's going to be something really obsessive and weird.
What are these?
The high school championships. I never told you, but your father was an ace pitcher in high school.
Was that a secret? Why? Seemed unnecessary except as a manipulative and timely plot device meant to push Yo toward her baseball destiny.
Hey, Miss Tofu! I said hello, Tofu!
What? You're not talking to me, are you?
Is there someone else here?
Why are you calling me Tofu?
Actually, it's because fried tofu is my favorite part of Oden.
This guy is a weirdo. Manic pixie dream boy. Yo gets to see Izumi dominating on the tennis court in single versus double. She's the chairperson's daughter, and also her Hiroki proximity alarm just went off. I have a good feeling about this.
We think she might be interviewing for your mom's baseball team.
Go on. Tell her.
Yeah, Izumi, tell that tramp to keep her hands off Hiroki. 'Cause if you won't, we will.
Yeah. Hold it. Don't you dare embarrass me.
Yo goes to an interview at Kisaragi High School because she's being offered a baseball scholarship to a school with no baseball team.
Let's begin the interview, shall we? Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll start with a few questions about your sex life.
Inappropriate. She's as bad as the girl's uniform guy.
I'm asking if you have a boyfriend, Yo.
That is not what that means. What if Yo's a lesbian and she doesn't want to tell you? You know what? Just don't ask anyone this question as an icebreaker for a high school admissions interview. After getting harassed by Keiko, it's now time to get harassed by her daughter, Izumi. Oh, come on, what is that fence made of? Spider webs? With that much force, the tennis ball would have been destroyed first.
It was just great. Amazing. You made it look almost easy. Well, why don't you try it? Just come inside the fence and I'll give you a lesson. I'll show you how easy tennis is.
She's not teaching her anything. She's just trying to embarrass her. Well, at least this is realistic.
Now I know how to read where her serve is going.
Never mind.
This time I'll hit it!
Wow, she hit it so hard that it went past Izumi, all the way around the world, and then past her again at a clearly lower elevation. I wonder how many chain link fences it broke through on the way.
Darn! Out of bounds. Izumi is wonderful, but this new girl is good too.
I'm sorry, who are you?
But since she's already played your game, it's only fair that you should try playing hers.
Stabilize lower body. And hit!
You know, the energy of a moving object equals half of the weight of the object times the square of its speed, correct?
Interesting. So if what you're saying is true, a tennis ball can't rip through a chain link fence. Later, at a budget-saving animation of kids singing at a graduation, Seishiro gets his diploma and tries to ask Yo out.
So I was thinking we could go out for a...
Look at the time! Oh my gosh, I've got 100 things I have to do today. The team's supposed to start spring training tomorrow, and I'm not ready for it. Huh? What were you saying again?
Nothing really. Just get on with your...
The team starts training tomorrow? You're the only person on the team, and I'm not even 100% sure that's finalized yet. On her way to whatever practice is going to be, she meets Hiroki again. Just don't make eye contact and don't stop.
Oh, darn! I almost forgot. I brought you the towel you left at my house the other day. I washed it for you. And also, here.
What's this?
I sort of baked them. I didn't know what kind you like, so I hope they're okay.
You mean you actually baked homemade cookies just for me?
They don't taste bad, do they?
Oh no, they taste great.
It's not kind to give someone a fake compliment, Hiroki.
Oh, now that's what I was waiting for. The knives are officially out. At quote-unquote practice, we meet our first two prospective ball players, the spunky softball star Hikaru and Yuki the store mannequin.
I think Yuki may be from Mars.
So these three girls are the majority of the characters who are on the team because of their merits in softball and baseball, which means the rest of the team is going to be really interesting.
My head. Oh.
You again? You mean you know this guy?
I must have fallen asleep here last night.
Look, mister, this is our baseball team's locker room. You'll have to find someplace else to sleep this off.
Yuki, what are you looking at?
I think Yuki may be from Mars. Come on, you'd better get out of here now. Our coach will be here any minute.
Your coach isn't coming. Because he's already here.
You're the coach here?
Oh, yeah.
What is Hikaru's deal here? She's abruptly really touchy-feely with the coach, and it doesn't really match up with her dialogue. I'd turn on the subtitles to check what they say, but it doesn't have any. The team's application gets rejected, but everyone seems unfazed, and they just carry on with undaunted hubris. Okay then, guess they don't want to be in the most boring and pointless 4-episode OVA about a new baseball team that falls apart in the early stages of planning. The new coach begins his journey of trying to track down the rest of the baseball team, some of which have dossiers. Speed and a good arm, center field right there. This is Sarah, the girl from the wrong side of the tracks that fights with Billiard Foo.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Who are you?
Why do random girls feel compelled to cling on this guy?
So tell me, is hanging out in cheap bars and getting in fights all you want to do with your life?
Who are you?
Who, me? I'm just a worthless drunk. And someone who admires your physical condition.
Do I need to start an inappropriate comment counter?
Type, old man. Come on, girls.
Just look at all this moolah. Oh, I mean, this fat old wallet is so heavy I can hardly hold it up. What'll I do now?
We just changed our minds.
Huh?
And we know this great place.
Here, take my shoulder.
Yep, I'm gonna drink a lot.
Come this way. Give us your wallet, or else I'm gonna hurt you. Huh? Newspaper clippings?
That's right.
Hey, what's going on here?
I need you to help teach someone a lesson.
Are we still trying to recruit baseball players?
What kind of weird games are you playing?
I just wanted to talk.
So you set up my friends.
Look, I just wanted to show you where the path you're following will take you, and give you the option of doing something better.
Something better?
Yeah.
And if I don't bite, Rumi goes to jail, is that it?
Well, if that's what it takes, yeah.
What the... How does this... This guy is like the Dirty Harry of baseball recruiters.
Not ever!
You've got quite an arm there.
Impossible! He blocked my signature cue ball attack.
Hey, Morimura!
Didn't you morons learn last time?
Looks like you underestimated him. I suggest you leave.
Huh?
Of course, you'll need my assistance to do that, and there's a price. I think it might be worth it, though.
Okay, just get us out of here!
I don't know what to complain about first, the multiple perspectives or the insane proportions.
Then follow me, ladies!
I don't get how that scene transition helped them escape. But Bad Girl Sarah joins the team.
There are really strange noises coming out of the shower room. Huh? I'll open it. But be ready. Ah! It's full of foam! Oh, good morning, everyone. Good morning, I think. How do you do? I'm Nini Mori. I'm age 15, a Virgo, and blood type O. I'm your new manager. Well, thanks for wasting 3 seconds of my life with duplicate info from your bumper. So this is Nene. She's the team manager somehow for some reason. If you have anything dirty, just give it to me and I'll make it all spick and span.
Okay, I understand the laundry part, but where did all this foam come from?
Well, I think it may be from the detergent. 12 boxes? You've never done laundry before, have you? Oh my goodness, you must be a detective. However did you know? Okay, that unwitting sarcasm was pretty good. The baseball espionage continues as Coach shows Yo some reconnaissance intel on another prospect.
You mean that's a girl?
Right after this practice game, she slipped up, and the other team found out that she was a girl. After that, they threw her out of the league.
But our scouts did make her an offer to play for Kizaragi, didn't they?
Of course they did, but she turned them down.
Nothing a little hostage bargaining can't fix, I'm sure. This girl lives far away, so they need to take a plane to go harass her in person. But since the coach is an unreliable loser, Yo has to go it alone. She tracks down the stubbornly opposed Koharu, who looks exactly like Tomo from Azumanga Daioh, and resolves to stalk her until she agrees to be on the team. When did Yo become a true believer? Eventually we learn Koharu won't leave her fishing village because she's worried her father might become sick again, despite her father wanting her to go play baseball. And if you thought this deal was gonna hinge on another baseball challenge, then you'd be absolutely correct. 3 pitches out looking. You sure you want this girl on your team? We didn't even get to see her signature swing. So she joins, and now we have a coach and a manager and 5 players.
Oh, keep going, girls! I'll have some of my extra special cookies for you as soon as I put out the fire!
I like how she's standing out there while a fire burns in the clubhouse. Yo has her graduation ceremony, I guess. We don't see anything, which is fine because I hate graduations. It's here that we get our first glimpse of, whoa. This girl is like a head taller than the average adult in this scene. The team has a big problem because no one can catch Yo's pitches.
Hikaru!
She got creamed!
That knuckleball of yours really packs a punch.
What? Knuckleballs are one of the slowest, if not the slowest pitch in baseball. If Yo's pitches were difficult to catch because her knuckleballs had irregular trajectories, which is what a knuckleball actually does, that would be one thing, but they aren't going to knock the catcher over. She's clearly throwing a fastball. I'd like to take this time to point out that Yuki has been here for 4 episodes now and still hasn't uttered one syllable.
No one on the team's strong enough to stop Yo's fastball.
So what do we do, Coach?
Well...
Hey, everyone! We need someone really strong, right? I think I might know the right person. She's over there, the big girl by the far wall. Whoa, she is big.
Yeah, she's the size of a whale.
You're trying to get this girl on the team, maybe Ixnay on the Ailway comments.
I was noticing that all the catchers in the baseball comics I read are really big. And it's also common for characters who study judo to become catchers too.
An oddly factual tidbit from the goofball manager. Catchers are the most punished player in baseball and generally end up being bigger people because they can take more of a beating and absorb the pitch momentum easier. I assume her comment on the judo fighters makes sense because they would already have great balance in an uncomfortable catcher's stance. Coach talks to Keiko about 2 girls that they found and they reach out to them. Judo Girl isn't really good at judo, at least in singles events, but it's because of her low self-esteem. The other girl, a failed idol contestant, is a really interesting study. She has 0 sports experience, and on a lark just decided to be on a baseball team as a fallback so she didn't have to go home. Things go exactly as you'd expect for her in tryouts.
That girl's just a beginner.
No, she's much worse than just a beginner. Her playing's even worse than her dye job.
Hey, you don't have to be so mean.
This is nuts. You do remember that our goal is to play at Koshien, don't you, Coach?
Yuki, do you have any thoughts on this matter? Do you have any thoughts on anything? Ever? Coach gives Yoko, the idol girl, a pass even though she sucks.
Hold on. How could you accept someone like her?
I agree Tokashiki's very inexperienced right now. But when I looked into her eyes, I saw something that's just as important. Infinite possibility. As long as she's willing to work on her skills, I won't reject her.
Yeah, it was the bikini shots. In practice, they now have 7 girls, counting Mao, who shows up in her judo gi, really.
I can't believe they want Daidoji. Well, it's not as if the big dumb ox was any good to us anyway.
As far as I'm concerned, we'll be lucky if they keep her.
Hey, Mal the cow, better be careful. Those baseballs might dent your big fat head.
How pathetic do you have to be to make time to show up here specifically for extracurricular heckling? And they're all wearing gis too.
All that you have to do is hold your mitt out in front of your chest. As long as you don't move, I'll hit dead center every time.
I did, didn't I?
This is so exciting! You were great, Miss Daidoji!
You really were.
Not too shabby at all.
Uh-huh!
Yuki, still nothing? At least she had a change in facial expression. This only applies to 3 players, but I like the theme of girls that couldn't hack it in their chosen field, so they try this weird baseball experiment. Yo is accosted by Izumi's Wicked Witch trio, who deliver an ultimatum to stay away from Hiroki. She's now depressed and aloof when Hiroki comes to bug her. I know Yo said she'd hit the target every time, but you really do have to move the glove to where the ball is.
Next, center field!
I got it!
Very nice! Wake up, left field!
Is she a robot?
I think Yuki may be from Mars.
Uh-oh! What a close call!
Are you here to play baseball or what?
I guess.
You guess? Oh! Sarah, stop it! I'm going.
This is awesome.
Hello? Can I help you?
That was Kanako, the principal's daughter. She's clearly interested in joining the team, but is conflicted because her father is the #1 detractor and biggest obstacle the team faces.
A proper young lady, not like those brutes on the baseball team.
Well, of course she is. You're not the kind of girl who wastes her time playing foolish games, are you, Kanako, dear?
I knew you. You're the same Kanako Mita who played shortstop in the National Junior High School Softball Tournament last year, aren't you?
Wait, what? That flies in the face of everything they just established with this scene.
I'd love to play, but there's no way my father will let me. He says I can't waste time playing kids' games. Not if I want to get into a good medical school.
I've got it! I read about a situation like this in one of my comic books. You just leave everything to Nene. I've got it covered. If she disguises herself like this...
Yatsuba's awkward teenage years. Is Nene just pretending to be dumb? She sometimes seems more crafty and on the ball than pretty much anyone else. I guess she is qualified to be the manager.
Where are you going, Hiroki? The second act's about to start.
So what? It's boring, and as long as I've shown up, my father will be happy.
I typically don't care about love stories, but this has me hooked, wondering how all of this is going to be resolved in the end. This is surprisingly one of the most complex relationship conundrums I've ever seen. Izumi and Hiroki seem to be in some kind of weird political relationship which exists to placate their parents. Izumi genuinely likes him, but he doesn't reciprocate and instead pines for Yo, which makes Izumi in turn resent her for stealing his affections. Meanwhile, Izumi's fan club is trying to drive a wedge between Yo and Hiroki, so Yo is now actually trying to quash her own blossoming feelings for him while also avoiding him. So he's in two very strained and awkward relationships. Not only that, regardless of what happens, Izumi and Yo still have to reconcile over him to form a functional baseball team. Not only that, but what about this guy? Where does he fit in?
I'm gonna have fun figuring this out.
Sweet dreams, Mom. I've never seen this one before. Oh, who's this picture of?
It just got more complicated. Izumi becomes more angry and consumed with trying to figure out who the guy is in her mother's locket. No one she asks will snitch, and the only thing she can learn is that the picture is older than she is. Then this exchange happens.
I've never seen anyone learn to hit as fast as you did, and we desperately need another strong batter.
Did I really hear that? I can't believe that baseball tramp just asked Izumi to join her raggy little team. What a joke.
I'm not joking about this, Izumi. I see you're not.
It would be funny if it wasn't so pathetic.
What's funny is that she actually believes that someone would leave our prestigious tennis team for a bunch of nothings.
Is there anyone nice at this school? They have a valid point, though. Izumi is already a star tennis player. What reason does she have to step down and take on a sport she doesn't know to help out a no-account team for a person she doesn't like?
Why would I stoop to playing with gutter trash?
Gutter trash?
You just don't get it, do you?
I want you to fail!
Wow. Guys, we are so close to getting Izumi on the team. Then this exchange happens.
Do you know when to quit?
No, that's one of my good points.
Why won't you just leave me alone?
Not until you listen to me.
I've got bigger problems! Go away!
Here, I don't think it was scratched. Dad?
This is some decent personal drama. But where is the baseball? You said there would be baseball. We're 8 episodes in and there has been no legitimate baseball. After this disturbing revelation, Izumi goes to her mom to demand answers. She tells her about the one that got away, aka Yo's dad. Needless to say, this doesn't make things better.
Hey Yuki, hold up. I've been wanting to ask you something. Just what is that?
This is Fifi.
Fifi? What's a Fifi?
Fifi is an alien who comes from the planet Euchra, 18 light years from the Earth. She's also my best friend.
What? 7 episodes of silence and that's her first line?
Huh?
Whoa.
I've had it with you, Hayakawa.
With me? But why?
Because you don't belong here. You don't belong in this school.
I've rarely seen a main character that's this profoundly spiteful.
Why else would the princess be here except to join you? She's just being...
Me join her?
Whoa, it sounds like you hate Hayakawa a lot, don't you?
Yes.
You hate me?
Well, if that's the case, why don't we settle this issue once and for all?
Ugh. If they settle this with another stupid sports duel, I will scream.
It seems that the last time you went at it, it wasn't clear who really won. So why not compete to prove who's best?
Just what do you mean by compete?
Compete as in a baseball game.
No!
Hayakawa's pitching versus Himuro's batting. Yo wins if Himuro strikes out, and Himuro wins if she gets to first.
You know, the best batters in the majors get on base about a third of the time. I don't think that's really a fair... whatever. Let's just get this over with.
I win. The baseball team will be dissolved and Hayakawa leaves school. Permanently.
Let's do it then.
All right.
Oh my god, they're both idiots.
What are you doing, you stupid little idiot? Are you trying to destroy your body?
Thank you. You're my favorite character, whatever your name is. She looks like she's going to murder that pitching machine's entire family while it watches helplessly tied to a chair. She somehow took enough pitches to look like she just went 6 rounds with Mike Tyson. Hiroki shows up and gives her a few pointers on how to completely wreck herself in 1.5 days of intense training. Nice continuity detail.
You're still not using your waist enough yet. You have to integrate your tennis technique into the batting process.
Maybe, just maybe, this isn't something you do in a single night. Okay, now she looks like she's going to hang the pitching machine by a noose made from its own wiring up in the town square as a warning to all that would defy her.
Your eyes are full of hate. 41. That's good. Hate keeps a man alive. It gives him strength.
Oh, whoop-de-doo. You got your timing and swing down, but you destroyed your body and you're still operating on 0 hours of sleep. Bravo. How managerial of you.
Let's play ball!
This is it. The day I get her out of my life.
The duel begins and Izumi is quickly worked into an 0-2 hole.
Strike 2!
2 down and 1 to go! Yeah!
I can't give up. Not until I destroy this baseball team. Until I destroy her.
Jeez, It's not like Izumi is just a surface-level jerk because the plot calls for a jerk character. She's not just bent out of shape because Yo has Hiroki's attention. There's a level of all-consuming animosity here, rarely seen in anything other than Captain Ahab. She sees Yo as a disease that's upended every facet of her life, and she won't be satisfied until she obliterates her and everything she represents, and then lights the rubble on fire, and then dances on the ashes. What are you doing? You have an 0-2 count. Go outside the zone and get her to whiff at something.
There's no way she can do that again.
What do you mean, Mal?
That last swing wiped her out. She's exhausted and there's something wrong with her hands as well. Her wrists are swollen and there's blood all over her bat. I don't know how long she can keep standing. It's like the only thing keeping her going is her hatred for you.
Let's take a moment to process this. She's standing there bleeding, and someone literally just said the only thing keeping her going is hate.
Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live.
Save!
From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
0-2 count! You didn't have to give her anything to hit! You deserve this loss and the eternal scorn of your teammates. Izumi is cold as ice. You see enough of this kind of stuff, you pretty much know to expect one of two things here. Either Izumi will fail, have a where did I go wrong moment, realize the true power of friendship or some garbage, and then join the team. Or she will triumph and have a what have I done moment where she looks at everyone's crestfallen faces, feels remorse, they reach an understanding, she joins the team, and either way she is transformed as a character and the plot advances just the same in the end. None of that happened. She exacted a calculated neck snap to the team and went on her merry way. Then we cut to this later moment of her with Hiroki, and you think, okay, now she's going to have a retrospective moment and come around.
You know, I feel a little sorry for my mother. But at least I've gotten rid of Hayakawa.
No, in fact, her voice is happy. She's happy as she reminisces about murdering their dreams.
Izumi, Hayakawa let you win on purpose.
She let me win.
That fourth ball was a gimme. It was slow, Izumi. Well under 100 kilometers an hour. A kindergartner could have hit it. And the way she threw it was straight down the center.
The show does some stupid stuff, but then it points out that the stuff that it did is stupid, and it kind of puts a damper on my angry parade.
Have you called the board to dissolve the team yet?
I'll call the board of directors right now. The girls' baseball team is dissolved. The scholarships will be canceled.
This is garbage. Yo had no reason to lose on purpose, and Izumi has no reason to care that she did. The point wasn't to see who's best at baseball. The point was that Yo takes a hike and isn't skulking around Hiroki anymore. There's no logical explanation for Izumi's reversal on killing the team, and that's bad. Are they just never going to address how worthless she is, or try to make it better? I find it hard to believe that they're so incredibly desperate for players that they couldn't replace the one that could be upstaged by a golden retriever. Now that the unbelievably messy affair of assembling a team is out of the way, we can focus on the logistical nightmare of breaking into the league. Goody. But at least we do finally play some baseball. They're testing the waters playing a junior high boys team. Without Izumi, they still have only 8 players in the lineup, which means their manager / cheerleader is now also / third base. Okay. Can't be any worse than Yoko. Yo has a 9-pitch 3-strikeout first inning, making a pretty good case for her abilities.
Not too shabby, huh? Just as good as you guys.
Yeah! We got runners on first and second! Oh, we're gonna kick those junior high losers' butts!
For a team that's played 0 official games, they sure do a lot of boasting and trash talking.
Here it comes! I'm gonna hit it! Yeah!
Out!
The game's a good pitcher's duel until late when the rival team finally notices some defensive players are overworking themselves to cover for the terrible defensive players. So they start aiming for the weak defensive players and things start to fall apart.
Oh my gosh! He really slammed it!
Damn it.
What? Is that true, Fifi? An urgent message from Yukara? I see. Right here.
Yukurai has the best scouting reports.
Oh!
To shortstop! Got it!
Oh!
Nene! Stand there and hold up your glove!
Huh? What was that? Oh!
Out!
They just pulled off a triple play to get out of a bases-loaded jam, while using Goofball Nene and Fifi the keychain alien. It's the bottom of the 9th, they're down by 3 with the bases loaded, and Nene is up next. But oh no! She's injured. Looks like it's all over. But wait, Izumi? I knew your cold, bony butt would come save the day. Yeah, grand slam walk-off. She breaks the lights. Okay, that's pretty awesome. She still doesn't get mobbed at home plate afterward. I'll leave it to you to decide if it's because everyone's in shock, too inexperienced to know what to do, or too terrified to touch her. Izumi officially joins the team and burns her tennis rackets. Because of course she does. Okay, time out. We need to talk about Izumi and how she's lost her train of thought. Before the baseball challenge, she hated Yo and the team, so she refused to join and tried to destroy them. Where does she stand now? She still hates Yo and the team, but now she's let them live and has joined them. It makes no sense. And let's not forget how big of a tennis star she was. This is like if LeBron James retired from basketball so he could go play for the Minnesota Twins farm team. She has no sensible motive for these actions. It feels like Izumi is grudgingly coming in periodically to poke the story forward with a stick, because if she doesn't, there's no show. The story should be spurred forward by the actions yielded naturally from her character growth. It's cliché, but her character really did need to become nicer and more understanding for these actions to make sense. The Grinch didn't make himself a Santa suit, go steal all the Who's presents, journey halfway up Mount Crumpet, and then say, you know what, it's not worth it. Here, you can have all your presents back, and you can have Christmas, even though I still hate Christmas, and I still hate all of you. Sure, you could write a dilemma resolution where the Grinch stays angry and mean but still gives back all the presents despite that, but in doing so you've made a character that doesn't make sense and a story that doesn't have a message.
What? Is there some reason I shouldn't be here right now? Did you forget that I joined the team? Or did you think that the whole thing was just a stupid whim?
I don't know, just please don't hurt me. Madam Chairperson continues her uphill battle against sexism in the league despite getting a quick resounding no for entry. Refusing to back down, she demands that she and the team be taken seriously. And of course, it gets settled with yet another baseball wager. This time they have to beat the Rinkai High School team. Baseball is to Princess Nine what Duel Monsters is to Yu-Gi-Oh! Initially, the school refuses the girls, but after the chairperson gets a fabricated story out that they're afraid of facing Yo because of some wicked mystery pitch, it puts their reputation in peril and they're forced to accept.
Now Rinkai has no choice but to attempt to humiliate us. But at least we have an official game now.
Man, you really beat all, lady.
That's the idea.
And that's where Izumi gets it. Time for a lot of training.
I've no experience at fielding. Therefore, I would like to ask you to work with me individually.
Huh. Well, why not? Just don't expect any special treatment.
Okay, but my question is, why didn't we see them do this for Yoko? Izumi may lack in fielding skills, and she might be the number 2 character, but I feel like she already had her main training arc and claimed her personal victory. Let some of the other characters have the spotlight, especially the ones who still have issues to work out and milestones to meet. I want to see Yoko have an epiphany about why she really wants to be on this team.
Hey!
Speaking of Yoko, did she just say sneak, sneak, sneak while sneaking? In training, they plug up some holes, but also find new ones, like Mao's inability to handle a pop-up.
That's why you have to be ready for anything, Daidoji. A team's defense revolves around its catcher.
Yeah, it does. Which is why I'm wondering why I've never seen you, a former catcher, train her. How is she going to learn how to catch, learn the signs for the pitches, and remember good tactics of dealing with each individual batter and scenario? She's supposed to call the shots not unlike a quarterback would, and it's pretty insane that she's stepped into this role with 0 experience. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
This team's not strong enough to carry so much dead weight.
Toss her down the stairs and say she fell. The list of witnesses nearby who would look the other way is probably pretty long. Yo realizes she can't keep runs off the board through the whole game by herself and demands the coach teach her the magic pitch her father knew. So he puts her in Mr. Miyagi's class of exploitative manual labor.
Is something wrong with you?
I've got a girl's thing.
A girl's thing.
Well, I am a girl, you know.
Hold it right there! Playing sick again?
What's that mean?
How many periods do you have in a month?
Oh, anime, why do I watch you? She's trying to weasel out of practice to go do a commercial gig. Coach tells her that the upcoming game will be televised and she can achieve notoriety by playing well. So now she's motivated to take training seriously, but for the wrong reasons. Whatever.
This baseball team has no chance of winning a game if our catcher can't do her job properly. Your sloppy playing and lack of commitment jeopardize everything we've been working for.
I know that I've been letting the team down. You don't have to keep repeating it.
Well, one way or another, we have to settle this.
And just how do you propose that we do that?
A challenge. Throw her hardest fastballs just like in a real game. If Mao can catch at least one of those fastballs, I'll take that as proof she has the ability to improve.
So for everyone keeping track, that's 4 baseball challenges and 0 official games that we've seen. And that's not counting the 5th one, which they're scheduled to do after their training. Also, 100 pitches and she only has to catch 1? Also, why should she care to prove herself to Izumi? Where is she getting all these balls? She literally has 100 balls that she's just pulling out of the air. So of course, on the very last pitch, she catches one while remembering a time she triumphed in judo. Alright, it's finally time for the team's first game against a real team in a real stadium.
What in the heck is taking you guys so long to change?
Don't come in dressing rooms without knocking! You're such a sleazeball!
Oh, right. As if I'd have any interest in your bratty little teenage stick figures anyway.
Why did I laugh?
Our opponent is a team that went to Koshien last year. Do you really believe that this team of raw beginners can beat them in a fair fight? But that's assuming...
Nice continuity detail.
Are you saying you have some kind of strategy?
Of course. They might look big to you, but for an old pro like me, it'll be like taking candy from a bunch of bawling brats. Now, let me explain our strategy.
Is this going to have to do with partially unbuttoned jerseys?
There. It's paper! I win!
Wait, is that really how they pick who's up first in Japan, or are they just doing that because of special circumstances?
Play ball!
Oh, wait a second, Mr. Umpire.
Huh?
Ugh, here we go. So the plan is to flirt and ditz around to throw the other team off their game, which works pretty well for a while. Where did those come from?
Straight!
Even Yuki contributes.
It's really hot and bright out here in this field, Fifi. Maybe I should do something about that. There. It's not too bright anymore, is it?
What we're sorely missing here, though, is a scene where Izumi really angrily shows some leg and instead of enticing the opponent, just petrifies them with fear. You know, I was going to say for a show with this many girls on it who are also going to be using a locker room a lot, it's weird to see zero fan service and practically no body humor up to this point. But this is the episode where they just unapologetically cranked it straight to 11. It's still about average for anime, but within the show, it's a jarring change.
What's the name of that thing where if the catcher doesn't catch the pitch, the batter walks to first? I keep forgetting. Do you mean a swing and run? Yeah, that's the one!
What? That's just called reaching on a strikeout, and it's not exactly easy to pull off, and you can't really plan it either. Yoko rounds the bases saying the dirtiest, raunchiest things you've never heard. Seriously, you can't hear them.
He's going to pick her off!
You wanna what?
Just kidding again!
The fumbling Rinkai has a meeting, they get their act together, and finally start a rally. With 2 outs, bases loaded, and Kisaragi up 2-0, Kanako fails to make the play that would have ended the inning for fear of losing her wig disguise, but then immediately decides then and there to ditch it, much to the shock of her previously unaware father. The wheels continue to fall off as Yo realizes the other team has her strike zone pitches figured out and tries to rely on pitching outside the zone, but just ends up walking batters. She throws to first to check on the runner, which is a thing pitchers often do when they doubt their abilities to get out of an inning intact. In a moment of genius, Hikaru pretends to throw the ball back and then tags the runner when he leads off the base again, and the inning is over. Izumi goes off on the team again because of Yo's lack of variety and also being crippled by an inexperienced catcher. Yo somehow manages to keep Rinkai off the board despite all the walks, but at the end of regulation, Yo is worn out and the team is worried about making her pitch in extras. Who would have thought having only exactly 9 players wouldn't work very well? They put together a rally on Izumi's hit and Yuki's walk.
All right, Fifi. Yuki could use a little help here.
I'm totally mystified by this character and her Fifi alien. Kanako gets an RBI to put the team ahead, which even makes her father cheer. But now everything hinges on Yo closing the game, and she just loaded the bases with no outs. Just then, she has an epiphany, and the epiphany is just that same never give up stuff we always get.
Dad, I understand how you did it now, and I will finish this game just like you did!
That's it!
The lightning ball!
You can tell because there's lightning on it. There's no way she learned that from hoeing his stupid garden. So she learns the lightning ball and strikes everyone out on 3 pitches apiece, and they win, and they're in?